Hi everyone, it's Colleen. I am here today to share a prayer journal that I have found, and I'm going to tuck it into Colleen's package that I am going to mail to her. She had purchased my Paris journal, and she's also purchased several other journals from me in the past. I am cleaning out my craft room and putting together eclectic type journals to use up all of the various printables that I have printed over the many years. And this is one of the journals I have finished off, and I'm going to give it to Colleen. So we are going to have a look before I mail it off. About a year ago, I made Colleen one of these journals, and she probably has this exact same journal. So I'm going to send her another one. She wanted to buy another prayer journal from me sight unseen, but to thank her for that generous offer, as some ladies do, they just take my journals or at, I'm going to say, face value, and pray to God that it turns out nice. And the prayer journal, I was going to keep this one for myself, but Colleen, it is now yours. I ended up attaching this piece of Battenberg on the inside because to me it didn't seem finished. So let's have a look. There's lots of pages in this prayer journal, and it's actually meant to be used, meant to be written down, added things in, tucked in, and enjoyed. Many printables, staggered layers, and I'm just going to do a silent flip through as I go through the journal. Lots of printables throughout. And I made this, oh gosh, just about a year ago. I have so many things in my craft room that I have printed off. So many digitals. Oh, this is one page I didn't fill up. That's all right. Colleen, you can write in this journal if you haven't written in the other one that you have. And lots of pockets, lots of sewing. I just have no space in my craft room to even move. Since I enjoy slow stitching as well, there are only so many hours in the day, and my time has been occupied with my mom because she has moved closer to me and requires a lot more help. So these are, any blank pages like this are coffee dyed, and I just tucked a page so you can write different scripture things inside, or verses, or whatever you like. Lots of room for writing, which is unusual for me. Before, people used to tell me that, oh my gosh, why do you make your journals like you do? There's nowhere to journal in them. And then another person just recently just said, oh my, it's not as decorated as you usually do. So I guess there's journals for every type of person. And for me, I don't write in my journals. There are a lot of pages here that are blank for journaling, to actually use this prayer journal, and blank pages to write things on, prayer cards or whatever you'd like to use them for. Coffee stained doily straddling a page and just paper clipped on. So Colleen, you can use this for a lot of variety of different things. Lots of Bible pages I've included to double stitch around backs of printables. So back to my story. As I'm rifling through or showing you, flipping through this lovely prayer journal that I'm going to gift to Colleen. Postcards, if you see them, they are backed with coffee dyed paper and just paper clipped on the back. I have purchased many many, many, many printables over the course of my lifetime, and I have accumulated quite the stack of printables. So I am going to be using up the printables that I have printed already because they are taking up so much room in my craft room. And I'm going to be making eclectic journals, meaning they're going to be mainly botanical because that's the theme I usually tend to gravitate towards. Flowers on them, so they'll be botanical type journals with, of course, Edith Holden pages in them. And I still will be doing a set of Edith Holden monthly journals out of the old Edith Holden books, but only one for each month because I might only have 12 of those books. But that won't be for a little while yet. I think I need to use up the papers that I have printed. So I am just going to be making a whole bunch of, well, I have a whole bunch of pages, and just backing them and creating pockets and different things, and then compiling them into journals. I have old books that I have book covers that I'd like to use for covers of journals. So this one here, I'm sidetracking here. Is this like 3 signatures? This is the second signature. Love these, using book pages for flip out pages and then little printables in the corner. Love that washi tape. So being that I turned 60 this year, I have done a look around inventory of everything in my craft room, and I have so many, and I do so many, well, printables for journals, but I love to crochet, so I have so much yarn. I have stitching. I do stitching every day, so there are projects that I would like to do. And my time is limited because I'm looking after my mom now, helping her in her condo, which is about an 8-minute drive from my house. Sometimes I go there once, twice a day, and other times it's the whole day. So stitching is a little limited. So I have many stitching projects that I would like to do, so I can show you how to do embroidery stitches on my stitch play, which I can tend to continue as I work on my pieces. I love to work on wool. When I have an idea in my head, I tend to go crazy buying stuff online. I bought a whole bunch of Sue Spargo patterns, books, and projects that I would like to create with the stitching. Of course, you can't show all that on camera, but there's nothing wrong with me showing how to do a certain, like a basque stitch, or a running stitch, or a trellis stitch, or a what have you, as I do these projects. Just showing you one stitch on a something that I'm working on is more than fine. People do mandalas, circles on wool. As long as you don't copy someone's pattern, you're fine. Just showing how to do a stitch is okay. So that's what I plan to do. It's also a visual reminder for myself how I can do a stitch. So these are beautiful, beautiful printables. I could have listed this prayer journal and had someone purchase it, but some ladies are just, they buy a lot of journals from me, and it's so nice to get their emails. And I've befriended a lady, Lisa. Hi, Lisa, here in Canada, and we've messaged back and forth. We've started to message back and forth daily, which is nice. A lot of nice things. So, fewer journals in the works. I will be putting together eclectic journals, like I said, to use up and make room for my stitching stuff, which is in tubs. And so I won't, any journaling videos will be flip throughs. They won't be tutorials. I wanted to do tutorials last year, and trying to get people to watch your tutorials when there's so many other people out there, and there's only so many hours in the day for people to watch videos, which is understandable. And so I'm just going to compile my books, show flip throughs of the finished journals, and do my stitching YouTube videos for myself to, I like to have videos playing in the background. I have created different playlists for myself with stitching or journaling or what have you. And for me, the more I learn by repetition. Even though I've stitched for 50 years, I still like to review a stitch or practice a stitch before I put it on a project I'm working on. Could be the OCD, could be the perfectionist in me. And then you see some of these junk journals and you wonder, that's perfection? Well, no, it's not. It's all kind of wonky. Well, some things I'm OCD on and others I'm not. So this is like a rambling video. And we're near the end of the prayer journal. I love these type of pages. The ivory paper, you can see it's torn from a coiled notebook. You put a folded book page on top, naturally caramelized, and a little image. And I just think that's so pretty. So putting together all sorts of eclectic journals, and I will be sharing them on my YouTube channel. And then putting them up in my Etsy shop. There's one Edith Holden special edition lilac journal, February, which is still available in my shop. And it will stay there until someone purchases it. And any of the journals that I put in there, what am I trying to say? There's going to be fewer of them, ladies, just so you know. And stitching, I'm doing the stitching for myself. If I do stitching, hand stitching, it's going to be for these, what would you call these? Book wraps? Book wraps for my journals, or spines for the journals like I did in here for this one. So this one is going to Colleen, as is this one. So wrap this up, and I know that I have to put together my book for my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. It's my volume 2, because I've done 2 volumes for these first 6 months, and that's going to be the next video that I have up on my YouTube channel. So this is a short video. I wanted to share this with you before I package it up and do a nice handwritten note to Colleen, thanking her for watching my videos and leaving comments and purchasing my journals. Thank you, Colleen. I will see you all in the next video for my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, compiling my second book. Bye for now.